Let's get salty!
Hey everyone, Zeddy here again today with a brand new video. And Hearthstone currently right now, after one of its largest balance patches ever, has seen the least disparity between classes. Tons of different archetypes are playable in both standard and wild. And a ton of what I'm hearing, at least from top pro players in Hearthstone, is that this is one of the worst metas of all time, and something needs to be done about it. I want to talk about, well, why I disagree, why I feel like a lot of you do, and the harm that this mentality can have. Before we get into it though, of course, I want to thank everybody who continues to support the channel. If you feel like I've earned your subscription, please hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It helps the channel more than you'll ever know. So, taking a look at HS Replay right now, you take a look across all ranks, you're seeing even the worst class in Priest, which is substantially the worst, at least across all ranks, is within 8% of every other class. You take a look at Wild, it's within about 8% of every class, top to bottom. And more importantly, if you want to look at really good data, top 1000 Legend in Standard, it is one of the most diverse metas we've seen in recent times, with the only tier 1 deck being Holy Paladin at 53.5%, nowhere near what like a Demon Hunter or Warrior were not that long ago, just last patch, and a ton of viable decks. We have Naga Priest, Boat Rogue, Control Murloc Shaman, Fell Demon Hunter, Beast Hunter, Big Spell Mage, Burn Shaman, Murloc Shaman, Celestial Druid, Thief Rogue, and Charge Warrior. You will note that every single class is has a viable tier 1 or tier 2 deck, including Charge Warrior. Ironically, there are decks that have been moving up lately too, like Ping Mage and Control Warrior. Luna recently got rank 1 Legend playing Control Warrior, which is supposedly dead, a dead class completely over nerf, which I said it to an extent. We also saw Kwanu, another person, get rank 1 Legend, this time with like a Weapon Warrior as well. So 2 people in the last 2 days have gotten rank 1 Legend with Control Warrior or Control Warrior variants. And yes, basically what I'm seeing is you have control decks playable with Holy Paladin, Control Murloc Shaman, and you could argue Charge Warrior and Control Warrior. You have mid-range decks existing with a Boat Rogue, with a Beast Hunter, a Big Spell Mage, well, more of a scam deck, a Burn Shaman, and you have aggro decks existing, if you want to argue, in like a Fell Demon Hunter. Half of Beast Hunter is actually pretty aggro, Murloc Shaman, and then you have the scam decks, like a Celestial Druid, like a Big Spell Mage. And I'm not going to say that this meta is perfect by any means, particular Big Spell Mage is very frustrating to a lot of people when you just basically spam a bunch of Rune of the Archmages for sometimes 0 mana and then recast it with the Grey Siege Parrot. That's a pretty awful gameplay experience. This meta is not without its flaws, don't get me wrong, and have decks that can really upset people like Celestial Druid. Celestial Alignment can be a very polarizing, frustrating card, and if you go a little bit further, decks like Mine Rogue, very non-interactive, very unfun to face, Curse Warlock, Abort Priest, all very polarizing decks, but ironically, all of them have a sub 50% win rate. And this is even correlated as well by the Vicious Syndicate Data Reaper report that came out just yesterday. Looks very similar to HS Replay top stats. They have their own stat pool. They have a little bit of their own opinions thrown into the meta, but you can see Holy Paladin, tier 1 as well here, Control Shaman, Naga Priest, Big Spell Mage, Fell Demon Hunter, Big Beast Hunter, Mech Mage, Murloc Shaman, Thief Rogue. In tier 2, every class is represented except for Paladin, which is in tier 1, and Warrior, which I feel like Vicious is a little too hard on. They say the class is dead, and I like to think people at rank 1 Legend might prove them a little bit wrong, but overall, yeah, it's a lot worse than the nerfs before the nerfs. So yeah, you would think looking at this isn't the worst meta of all time. And the problem I'm going to have here is I'm not going to highlight any pro players' tweets. I don't want to, except for one, because Cora directly responded to it. She's a dev on the team. There are multiple tons, like I could count over half a dozen top pro players that have like tens of thousands of followers talking about how this is like the worst meta ever. It's an arena meta because there's nothing exciting to do, and their skill level, they can't utilize their skill level to really take an advantage and all of that. And I don't want to just highlight people because that's how people get flamed, and that's how people come after me saying I'm setting a hate army to these people, because I'm not. It's a difference of opinion. They're entitled to their opinion. I'm entitled to my opinion. You're entitled to your opinion. You could disagree with my take right now, but the problem I have is every single time I ever highlight anybody that can't handle it whatsoever, they basically accuse me of witch hunting, so we can't go down that road. But I will say, if you go onto Hearthstone Twitter, you'll see it a lot, and the reason it concerns me is a response from Cora like this. She is a part of the dev team, and she's kind of responding to the meta is not powerful enough. The cards aren't powerful enough, where we were just like not that long ago talking about mass nerfs in the game. Mass nerfs in Hearthstone. But now the cards are, it's vanilla, it's Arena. By the way, I complain about Arena having too powerful cards. Arena's got nothing on what you could do on ladder. Don't even, like, you take a look at these decks. Are they particularly not powerful? Holy Paladin can OTK you with like 30 damage in hand, no problem. Get an killable hero up and heal a ridiculous amount. Control Shaman can cheat out Mutinous and freeze your board every freaking turn. Naga Priest can make a minion that can kill you on turn 4. Big Spell Mage can cheat out Runa the Archmage on turn 5 or 6. Fell Demon Hunter is just insanely efficient, can kill you incredibly quickly. Big Beast Hunter can cheat out a Hydrolodon on like turns 4 and 5. Mech Mage can kill you in hand on turns 4 and 5 with a Mecha Shark. Murloc Shaman floods the board. Like, do I need to go on? These decks all do incredibly powerful things. The thing is, none of them do more powerful things than the other. It's relatively balanced, and that's what it comes down to. So the take that Core got from this, that it's not powerful enough, is it's really interesting. We get feedback all the time. The Classic was the good old days, that there's too much power creep, but now there's a lower power meta and people hate it. Playing Harvest Golem on 3 doesn't hate anymore. Who the hell is playing Harvest Golem on 3? Like, it's not happening. I see it's both sides of the argument for what it's worth. I also like Arena, so this style of meta doesn't bother me quite as much, but it's undoubtedly less exciting. I just disagree. I disagree. I feel like the complaints she is reading are from pro players, and I don't want to generalize every pro player, the pro players that are making these comments, because there's a lot. Like, I'll show Aveline. She's a pretty good pro player. She's Master Tour events. She's done well. She's enjoying the meta. She doesn't get the feedback. She even said that on her own timeline, so I don't want to like throw everyone under the bus. She's puzzled by players' reaction to the current patch after experiencing the worst design metas back to aka Roguestone and Druidstone. Playing an actual healthy and balanced meta is really refreshing. Everything is viable. Control, aggro, tempo, combo. This is it. That's what I'm getting at. I'm the guy who complains about everything, and I'm not complaining right now. Like, and then they're going off that it's boring. But what my theory and how I feel about it is that these guys are used to being able to recognize an outlier deck that's too good, like a controller, like a demon hunter. Before it was druid, there's always been that one deck that's just way too good, right? And they can just play it better than everyone else because they're the top players. They're incredibly good, and then they can abuse it and get easy top ranks. And now they can't do that. It's a somewhat balanced metagame. You can't just queue a counter like a boar priest and auto win against half your matchups. You can't just queue control warrior and auto win against every single aggro mid-range deck because you have every resource. Like, and there are games you're going to get scammed by bullshit like Runa the Archmage. So that happens to everybody. But the problem I see is if Core is listening to this and they're going to be like, well, we just have to power creep more and make the game more broken because a few pros on Twitter are being really vocal and complaining, while everywhere I'm looking, Twitter, social media, like Reddit, my YouTube, Twitch, it's the least complaints I've seen about a meta in forever. And even I'm not complaining. This guy complains about everything. Let's get salty, right? And since the nerfs, I've been praising it. I've been finding it refreshing to see so many viable decks popping up. Like even this just popped up yesterday. Rank 5 Legend, a new version of Pig Mage. Is this a boring deck? Is this not powerful, being able to scale your hero power up a bunch and cast a Pyroblast to everything on the board with, Mordresh? I don't get it. And I really hope the devs aren't listening too seriously to this, because I really feel like a lot of us are kind of happy with a meta where we can kind of play everything. You can actually try and meme a little bit. When's the last time a meme deck was able to win at all on ladder? It feels like it's almost possible right now. So I wanted to put that out there again, another supporting video for the Hearthstone team that I feel is getting unfair flack from a pretty vocal minority in my opinion, and I feel like Hearthstone is trending the right way for the first time in a long time. I would hate for them to kind of go back in another direction. Anyways, let me know how wrong I am in the comments below. Maybe I'm completely wrong, but that's how I feel. That's the beautiful thing about debating stuff. But again, if you happen to find one of these tweets, don't harass anybody, don't say anyone's dumb because they have their opinion. Everyone's entitled to them, and that's why I'm giving mine. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Have a great day, and stay salty, my friends.